Almost 300 stones coming for the month of April. How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, now that we know that INT YAMCHA is the next Dokkan festival to come to Global Dokkan, we are spending some time and taking a look at his celebration from the JP and figuring out how many stones we can expect to receive for this month so we can pocket them for our anniversary savings, or for those of you summoning for Golden Week for that special celebration. So let's go ahead, let's jump into the campaign info from JP and let's take a look. We will have to do a bit of speculation when it comes to part 2, but we can assume that this total stone count will remain relatively the same and we can work from there. So starting with login bonuses, we're just going to count the part 1 and part 2 together. So you were looking at 30 stones for login bonus, plus 4 weekends, extra stone on weekends. You're looking at about 8 extra stones for the weekend. Now we are going to get a bunch of missions, and I did go back and check the JP things. It is 16 stones that we get for that. So what do we got? We got 38 plus 16, we are looking at 54 stones. That's a whole multi there just for logging in, doing your dailies, and getting your missions out of the way. We do have the Dokkan event, which should give us another 2 stones, right? Bringing our total to 56. Plus, I think we get a new Ultimate Clash, right? Yes, we are getting a new Ultimate Clash, which brings our total, right, we usually get 31 stones for that, so that brings our total up to 87, plus 6 for a new Super Battle Road. I believe this Extreme Super Battle Road, we just got Final Trump card, so this should bring us the first stage in the next round, which I think is Exploding Rage, so should be fun. Moving on, we have the revamp of the Big Bucks Hercule Challenge, which when they revamp, I think we still get the stones, so I'm going to assume we're getting 3 extra stones here for the 3 difficulties. There'll be some returning story events. I'm just going to assume you have those grinded out, but what we do have is the new quest mode area. There are 4 new stages, 3 stones apiece, so we are looking at another 12 there, bringing our total to 108 stones. That's 2 multis on whatever banner you plan on summoning on. Now from there, on the 6th, we will be getting a new LR EZA for the full power Bojack team, and that's going to give us a 34 stones is usually what we get there, right? So 34 stones for that. And there was a revamp of the Dragon Ball story event, which will give us about 19 stones. 1 for the awakening of a character, or rather completion of a support memory, and 18 for all of the stages, bringing our total to 161. So very, very nice. From there, we are looking at, where are we? That's pretty much it for part 1. So where we'll want to look now is the part 2. The part 2 for the YAMCHA celebration on JP, as we've mentioned time and time again, it was the Carnival Goku celebration. So we can just assume that this is not what we're getting here outside of the next stages for the story mode. So we'll go ahead and add, there's 4 more stages there, so we'll get 12 more there, which will bring our total to 173. But other than that, I don't think we're getting anything else. What we will likely get is probably something closer to what we had here in the Kid Goku and Buu celebration, right? Whatever the summon ends up being, I feel like it'll probably just be a rerun banner like it was last year. That tends to be their go-to thing for this celebration, but it could be something entirely new. Who knows? But that won't matter because it won't affect the total. There will be part 2 missions, which we'll assume, let's just go ahead and assume 16 like the previous one. I can't imagine it'll be too terribly different, but anywhere between 10 and 16 I would imagine. So, but that does bring our total up to 189. We should get the next Peton battle during the part 2 celebration, which, depending on where you're at with collection, let's just assume basic collections, if you're lucky, you'll get 11 stones for the new set, bringing our total to 200. There may be, it may not necessarily be Dragon Ball history, but we might get something similar to it that will grant us a similar amount of stones. It could be a new burst mode, could be an infinite Dragon Ball history, could be missions for the Fighting Legend event, who knows, but I imagine the totality of it will remain the same. So about 24 stones is usually what you get for completing this, right? So let's just assume it'll be similar for 24 stones, bringing our total to 224. Now, they did have an LR Easy A here. I don't know if it'll be an LR Easy A in the part 2. Might be just a regular old Dokkan Fest Easy A, but I imagine there'll be some Easy A to match the stone count, bringing our total to 258, right? Because 34 stones. Add that on to a new Super Strike. Now, we on Global didn't get the failed Gotenks Super Strike, so I'm going to assume they're going to be the Super Strike here, which will net us another 16 to 18 stones. I think it's usually 18, right? So that'll bring our total to 276. On top of that, we actually did get some new stuff here added in that we know is part of the April Fool's campaign. So we have this Goku event where you get a stone for awakening him and a stone for completing the event, so, or not awakening, but leveling up his super attack to 10. So that's another 2 right there, bringing our total to 278. We also have the awakening for the Bulma. If you fully awaken the Bulma, you get an extra 10 stones there. On top of completion of the Easy A area, which will net you 2 stones per stage, so 4 stones plus 2 stones for completion of the mission. So we got another 6 right there for 294. On top of all of this, for completing, or for logging in rather, during the April Fool's time as an apology for their sneaky little Dokkan fishing game here, you're getting gifted 20 stones. So for the month of April, our total is about, what did we have? 298 plus 20. We're looking at about 318 stones for the month of April. That's pretty darn good. That's a lot more than I expected us to receive. But like I said in my previous video, the count tends to remain relatively the same in these months leading up to the anniversary. Dokkan, believe it or not, is actually pretty generous in the months leading up. The average for most months is about 250, as you've seen in the past, but some months can spike up towards about 300, and that's what it looks like will be the most likely case for the YAMCHA celebration, and whatever ends up being our part 2. So around 300 to 318, give or take. I may be a couple stones off there on my math, but I feel like that is pretty close to what we should see. And again, we did make a few bits of speculation here. So anyways, guys, that is the video. That is how many stones you can expect for the month of April. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know. Are you excited for YAMCHA? How many stones do you have saved up? How many are you going to have once you collect up all 300 at the end of the month? Honestly, my best suggestion is whatever missions complete that give you stones, save those missions. Don't touch them until the end of the month and you're ready to move into the next celebration. It's a good way to help you save, right? So you're not tempted to use whatever stones you may have. But that's just my recommendation. Anyways, guys, if nothing else, thanks for watching, and aloha.